I can already tell you this. How tall are you?
5'6".
You are 5'6". You are as tall as my girlfriend. The average dude who comes to the red pill, they think to themselves, dude, I'm 5'6". Donovan Sharp is 6'2". Of course he gets bitches. Myron Gaines is 6'4". Fresh Prince CEO drives 5 Lambos or whatever the number is now. Justin Waller, Justin Waller is 6'4". He looks great and he's rich. I mean, Andrew Tate. I mean, all of the. Just slow down. The first way, Kevin, the difference between you at 5'6", there are 2 main differences between you and the average red pill guy. There are 2 main differences. Number 1, you are about your shit. You're a fucking movie. Dude, you make movies, you make music videos. So number 1 is you have a genuine purpose. Number 2, Kevin, you're in great shape. I say this all the time. The quickest way to increase your sexual market value is get your ass into shape. Kevin, you are great with women. And people can use whatever excuse they want. Well, the only reason why he's great with women is because he makes movies. Well, making movies isn't easy, right? And the reason why you've had success with women is because you've been about your shit, right? But again, the second reason is because you are in phenomenal shape. Talk to my in-betweeners. Talk to my guys, because I remember I watched one of your videos when you were down in North Carolina. You talked about the fact that when you were right in the middle of filming the opener, you had a chance to like bang this hottie, and you really wanted her to do it. But because you knew you had to be up early in the morning, you had to be somewhere, you knew you just didn't have the time to smash her and be able to give it your best shot. So talk to my guys about the importance of being in shape and having a true purpose and the effect that has on women.
The main effect that I've noticed is it's funny. I set these kind of parameters for the conversation of the kind of women that you're dealing with, like what economic status they come from, what neighborhood they come from, therefore what frame of mind do they come from.
Right.
We could kind of basically set it into 3. It's like you know, lower echelon right in the middle, or higher class looking for a more higher class guy right off the bat. But when you're somewhere in the middle of all of it, which is so oddly where the Sabo brothers are right now. It's like we have like 1 foot in the world of film and television, but 1 foot still in the old neighborhood.
Right.
And on one hand, people watch us, but on another hand, we're still in our hometown. It's a weird thing, but the productivity is there. And when the productivity is there, like I was saying, you become like the embodiment of a mission. And the first thing that I've noticed is basically, which says 2 things, but the first thing that I noticed is that a lot of girls that are right in the middle as well become infatuated with you because you're likely the first dude that they dated that's about anything.
There you go.
Now, the funny thing about this is it says 2 things. First, it says you'll basically from that point on, when you become really locked in and dedicated to your purpose, not instantly gain 24 access to 9s and 10s, but 9s and 10s come and go here and there.
Sure.
But you will forever have like a steady option of 7s and 8s. They just don't go anywhere after a certain point. And a lot of those girls are caught in the middle between 2, where they've like flirted a little bit here and there with men of status, but are still really attracted to douchebags. Most of their relationships have been with dudes that aren't about it at all. And a good amount of women I've been with have told me like they're just fascinated by everything that I've got going on. And they talk about their exes as most women do. They shit on their exes. And to me, because I'm so hard on myself, I don't pat myself on the back for everything. What that is, I'm like, so I'm the first dude that's about anything.
That's right.
That you've come across. So of course you're going to be enthralled with it. But that's also just a reflection of your past decision making. So yes, I'm kind of great, but at the same time, every man you've ever been with due to your poor decision making is kind of not. So it's one of those things that kind of reminds you it's nice to be able to retain for steady sex. But like you said about not being eager to hop in relationships, I look at what that says, and it says that, yeah, what I got going on is great, but at the same time, in your mind, I'm almost like the smartest dumb guy because you've never come across any dude that's about anything.
Right.
Because every man you've chosen in the past was a loser. And so now you're starting to come to that part of your life. You're like, oh, it is kind of attractive to see a man that's ambitious and about something. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, I mean, that's how you're supposed to feel, right?
Right.
Like, welcome. It's great that I'm your first. I mean, I don't particularly usually like what that says about their past decision making. That's how I think of it.
No. It makes perfect sense. I've always said that there's more than one way to take a girl's virginity, right? Now, obviously, taking her vaginal virginity, that's one thing. But you mentioned something there that I've talked about in the past, and that is, and Andrew Tate actually talked about this when he was on with Pearl and Brittany Renner, is if you are the first guy she experiences something with, that means something to her. Before then, I said, hey, man, look, there's more than one way to take a girl's virginity. If you, and the virginity of the girls that you're taking is that they've never been with someone who really is about their shit that actually matters out here. I've never met a movie maker. I've never met a filmmaker. I've never met anyone like you. That's why I call you the red pill version of you, kind of a mix between, Sylvester Stallone and, maybe Mark Wahlberg. But that's because you have a very unique and extraordinary skill set, and you worked hard at it. But you are honestly about your shit. That's the virginity. And so in your mind, you're thinking, well, of course you're going to be enthralled about what I do and intrigued about what I do because you've never been with a guy that really is about his shit. Kevin, that is so important because because most of the time, I can't tell you how many girls have told me, you're the first guy who has ever raised his voice at me. You're the first guy who has ever yelled at me. You're the first guy who ever told me to get the fuck out of his house or get the fuck out of his car. You're the first guy, this and that and the other. One of my laws of the 49 laws of Sharp says you will never be her biggest, her best, her first, or her only. That's strictly sexual. That is strictly sexual. I'm not talking about life experiences. Because most girls don't experience guys who are willing to grab their Y chromosome and do and say what needs to be done and said, consequences be damned. And so I think it's important for guys to know and understand that your very aura, your very personality, your fearlessness, not being afraid of women, not being afraid to say, no, we're not doing that, or no, I'm not coming over, or no, I'm not going to give in to this. The very first time you do that, it is going to piss her off. But by the same token, she's going to she might not let you know verbally, hey, you're the first guy who ever, no, but she will if she likes you enough, she will definitely fall in. And even if she didn't like you, if you're the first guy to sort of bare your teeth at her, and dude, there's a 99.9% chance that you probably are, you're going to take that virginity. Wow, you're the only, and she'll characterize it in so many ways. There's just something about you that's different. Don't point it out to her. Don't turn it into a conversation. You just it's so easy, Kevin, to differentiate yourself from most men by simply being a man. Because we know that masculinity is being legislated out of the behavior of Western men. And if you are unapologetically masculine, women will absolutely find that attractive. This is why Andrew Tate blew up, because he was just not afraid to be masculine. Yeah. He's got fuck you money, he's great shape, he's a fighter, and all this other kind of stuff. What are your thoughts on taking a girl's virginity, being the first person who ever experienced something with her, or the first person who ever raised your voice? What are your thoughts on that?
It helps. It always draws us back to that point that we like to make to guys about getting on their purpose. Is
there you
that
go.
just by getting on your purpose and just by being about something, and being about something that's meaningful to you, that keeps you busy throughout the week, that you could use to at least begin to build the elements of a life for yourself with. It just that automatically separates yourself from the pack compared to how many losers there are out there. And I'm not only talking about dudes that are actual losers that don't leave their mom's basement, but the guys that just fall in line. They just follow the curve. They just go to their day job. They just have no dreams other than working for somebody else. And actually, when all you have is your day job, not only do you not have dreams, what you do every day is building someone else's dream. It's building somebody else's.
That's right.
So you're just a component in somebody else's dream. If you think about it, if your dream is to own a company, then you need people to work for you. So when people work for you so you can sleep, those are just aspects of your dream. And so that separates yourself from the pack. Discipline separates yourself from the pack.
There you go.
Being up early every day and being on something immediately every single day, it separates yourself from the pack, because how painful that is for most people to just stick to a damn schedule and just stay disciplined every day. Yeah, it kind of
that will separate yourself.
Of course. Yeah, no, it was when it does when you look at how difficult some of the things you do is compared to how it is in the mind of other people. I mean, for Christ's sake, everybody knows that the number one fear in the world statistically is public speaking, something that we're doing right now. And
Wow, I didn't know
second,
that.
statistically, if you never knew that, then check this out. The number one fear statistically, based on surveys, this has stayed the same throughout the decades, is public speaking. Number two is death, which means most people would rather die than do what we're doing right now.
Wow.
And well, because look at everything that comes with it, the criticism, the way people take it. But
of course,
we're still able to do it.
Yeah.
Most people would literally rather die than do what we're doing right now.
Yeah, my girlfriend included. She does not like, she does not like being on camera.